Welcome to the Lovers4Ever YouTube channel. My name is Christine, and today we're talking about transcending your emotional triggers. Now, this topic is actually one of my favorites. Not that it's easy to do, but this kind of work benefited me so much in my own life. So, have you ever observed yourself during a fight with your partner? I remember one time I was having an argument with my mom, and I had a weird almost out of body experience where I felt like I was observing the argument from the third party. And then I just felt like everything clicked into place. I could see how we were stuck in a pattern, and it was really helpful. And it sort of led me onto a path of self discovery. So, this kind of work where you take responsibility for your own triggers, actions, reactions, responses, and feelings is really powerful, and it's incredibly transformational, not only for us as our for us as ourselves, but our relationships, all relationships, not just marriage. It benefits every area of your life. So, how do you identify your triggers? Well, usually I would say a lot of people don't know about their triggers. They're unhealed parts of ourselves, and depending on past traumas, our childhood, traumatic experiences, we had to probably shove them down and ignore them. And oftentimes they come up again. I notice they come up again more now because of the way things are changing on the planet. But they're basically unhealed parts of ourselves that other people wind up triggering out of us. It seems almost like it's by accident, but I don't really think it's by accident. I think we have sort of co-created these experiences to propel us forward in our healing journey. So you'll know your triggers because they're going to be that thing that your spouse says that makes you go from 0 to 60, or something happens at work and you pop off. So you may want to withdraw or shut down, or you may just have a nagging feeling about it. So triggers are just intensely personal to each of us, and they're based on past traumas. So we often attract people who are also healing and who will unconsciously trigger us. And so if we keep responding from a place of woundedness, it keeps us trapped in this negative cycle that can destroy our relationships. So, what can you do about them? Let them come up. Don't resist. Allow it. Welcome them. This is a really easy way of letting you know the spots that need to heal. The next thing is observe yourself during the triggering situations. You don't need to judge or you just want to observe. So I told you the story about how I was watching myself argue with my mom from a third party perspective, which was really strange, but maybe that will help you understand better what the observer perspective looks like. You're just watching. It's like you're just watching something take place. So you may want to journal about your observations and consider what you'd like to do differently next time. So that's really the benefit of the trigger, is that once you learn about it, you can deal with it, sidestep it, manage it better until you get to a point where it may not trigger you at all. So sometimes if you have repetitive triggers around something, so I've mentioned before that my mom was borderline, and that she would do the same things. She would do the same things multiple times until it got to the point where I was not triggered by it anymore because I expected it and I had a strategy for handling it. So oftentimes they do come up 2 or 3 times. And, if you do happen to get something that comes up just once, it's important to be mindful, stay in the present. Notice how you feel in your body, in your chest, your emotions, and then take a deep breath before you react. But honestly, after a while, you get used to this. You get used to reacting instead of responding instead of reacting, and then you can completely change your relationship. So imagine how, if you have a lot of unresolved conflict with your spouse, how amazing it would be if you didn't react. How would that change things? So take a deep breath And you may notice relief, like, oh, this is what's happening. That was a big thing for me. And relax a little bit because you know you're just being triggered and it's going to be okay. And you don't need to rip your spouse to shreds from an unconscious response. So I'd invite you to do this kind of work with relationship coach Brian Gormley. He works with a lot of people on a lot of different things. He works with single people preparing for marriage. He works for couples that are engaged and getting ready for married life. And he works with married couples to make their marriage even better. So I'd invite you to click through the link in the description box and reach out to Coach Brian to get things rolling. My name's Christine. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching and subscribing. And I really hope that you enjoyed this content. And we'll see you next time.